Guys, I want to ask you about reading markets, and obviously Betfair's the best place to read markets and find out information late on the markets. Great tool, Betfair Live. So log into Betfair Live, you've got all the tools there. You can look at the flux, the weight of money, percentage of firmers, drifters, whatever it may be. But how much emphasis, I'll start with you, Jules, do you put on markets, particularly late?
Oh, crucial. And it's especially important when you might have already had a bet early doors, but you're either going to go again or you want to possibly hedge because you need to get out of something because you're thinking something's off the map. So, you know, if you've got a horse that you were happy to back at $6 or $7 and you see it out to $11, $12, it's telling you it's not there. And I know people can say, bet the drift, but betting the drift is going to send you under
more
a bridge.
times than not.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's ways you can bet the drift when it's fine, it's just marginal. But when it's a bigger drift, you've got to be really concerned about that.
Also got to know why it's drifting.
And correct, absolutely. So you've got to understand, is it map related? Is it because it's first up off 180 days and they haven't done any work with it, blah, 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 did it parade poorly? All those kinds of things are important. But then conversely, obviously, when there's the hemorrhage and where's the big one? And sometimes if you're not on that horse, it is okay to have missed the early price. But if you really like it and you go, I just wanted to see a bit of market push for it, and you get the market push, then you double down because you get that last bit of piece of the puzzle that you've done all your form and you go, all I need to see now is just a bit of market intelligence for it. And if you can get that, then I think that's a great little thing you have in your back pocket to always do when you're punting.
I want to get a trainer's perspective on this, because have you taken horses to the races and seen your horses drift and wonder why? Or has that ever happened? Because I've been involved in horses that I've seen drift and I know the horses are flying. I'm like, it's paraded fine, everything seems fine, but there's a drift
Just
here.
from my experience, I had one at Werribee a few weeks ago that within the last 60 seconds went from about 5 into 360, and I had no idea why. And I got questioned afterwards, and the horse got vetted and everything like that. No, and it had none of mine either, let me tell you. So yeah, it's, I don't know. I mean, it was a Werribee on a Sunday, so I don't know if there was someone on course that thought it paraded well, and it was a horse that I only had it was my third run with it, so maybe they were going off that, some type of stat. But yeah, then I've seen horses of mine drift and win too, to be fair. So yeah, it's a one that's probably always I've wanted to know more about too, and where people are coming from with this, because I obviously keep a close eye on it. And yeah, I've had horses that have drifted in one or walked away saying they knew something that I didn't know because it didn't go up to my expectations. So yeah, it's a really interesting one. I just want to ask you, Jules, say if a horse opens for a Saturday, it opens up yesterday afternoon, opens up fives, smashed into 320, and then it drifts on the day back out to nearly fives. Are you calling that a drift, or are you just thinking it's got back to where it's open?
No, it goes back to where it's open.
As long as it doesn't get out to $7, $8.
Yeah,
very good question.
Yeah, we speak about it a lot, is that is in essence on a Saturday when markets go up Wednesday, there's actually two markets that actually really happen. Wednesday to say pre 8 o'clock Saturday morning is where a lot of action happens, but it's not the volume you want.
And then nothing happens up until 10 minutes before.
Well, even it happens sort of from 9 o'clock onwards, then it becomes the second market. And then that's the real market, because then you've got everyone that can play in that market, including the real, every big punter in Australia can then play. And that's correct. That's the one you want to be taking account of. And I think it's very important for punters to understand is don't get sucked into the $5 into $3 Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Because don't take $3 Friday.
Correct, because that's what people want to do. They go, oh, this thing's off the map. You're probably going to get back that $5.
Do you find that takes a very little amount for that to happen too?
Oh, it can. Yeah, it can. It's just a...
Depends who's doing it.
Yeah, correct, exactly. But it is just so important to not get sucked into that's the big move. The big move doesn't come until actual game day. And really important to understand that, yes, it's the one market, but there's actually two markets working within it.
The point I raised earlier is why horses drift. And I do a lot of trial work and watch trials. The question you just asked, horses $5 into $3 might be based on trials, but then the data guys step in late and actually may have improved. There's a lot of things that I look at. If I see that and I'm keen on a horse and that's done that, I won't bet the $3, but if it firms further into $2.50, I'll have a bigger bet on it. But if it drifts back at a $5, I don't need to have as much, I'll still bet on it. So I just wait and see why. There's instances where you know it's going to map poorly anyway, but you're still happy to take a price, and the guys late might take it on because of the map, and you're still willing to do
Have
that
something
and,
on.
and have something on. Just about knowing a price in your head, I guess, and
Yeah.
working to that. There is the bet the drift. The trials often drift late.
Yeah,
or
and they
late
will.
bookers.
And knowing that is so important to say, you know, these horses off the trial or first starters or whatever they might be, will drift. The data
Yep.
teams will possibly take a set against, and that's fine.
Yep.
Do not get panicked about a horse being 4 out to 6 or 650 because it is a first starter. That's just the way the game
gonna happen
works.
every time.
Don't be worried about it.
Yeah.
If you're worried about that, then you'll never back a winner.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're the ones in particular that drift.
And then if they do stay rock solid,
Oh, well, that's a huge push
Yeah.
because in essence, the data guys don't want to be with the raced horses. So they're saying they're more or less removing them from the market completely.
Yeah.
So they're saying they're confirming your thoughts, even though it's not 6 into 420, it's holding its price at $6. That is great intel for the punter.
I'd rather have more on, knowing that everyone else is on it.
yeah,
At that
correct.
point.
Yeah.
And just
They're
take the
confirming your
market
thoughts that you've done your job.
Yeah.
And then the big guys are now confirming that, it's there from their perspective as well. And it's just it's actually a great feeling to have before the gates open, knowing
They're
I've
with
done
me
my
as well.
job here. And you haven't done it because the result's not yours yet, but at least you've done
You've
everything
done everything you
possible.
can, yeah.
Sometimes I might have a small bet on a Wednesday and then go again 5-10 minutes out once you see the market
Yep.
shape.
And then you get a bad steal.
Well, but that's what happens, and unfortunately, that's the results. You know, as I said, you can only control what you can control. But yeah, absolutely, definitely get bad steers and unlucky and all that kind of stuff. But that's part of the game. That's why we love it, don't we?
Exactly, that's right.
That is why we love
If we
it.
were all winning all the time, we wouldn't be doing it.
Oh yeah, wouldn't be here. When
Jeez, thanks for the.
no, I'd definitely come back.
All right, mate. Time for your best bet. Let's get to it.
Gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-858-858.